Good morning, guys. So today is 30th of June, last working day for the month of June. It's about 7:50 a.m. Eastern Time. So couple of things. Today is the last working day of the month, last working day of Q2, quarter two, and the last trading day of first half of the year. And last day of every quarter is the closing of JP Morgan collar. So they will be closing a collar which expires today, 30th of June, and they will reinitiate next collar, which is their hedge for Q3. I will explain the collar maybe later this evening or in my monthly call. I'm going to start my monthly outlook sometimes from today, so I'll do it. From July. I'll do it from today for the month of July. So either I'll do it today or I'll do it tomorrow, but I'll come up with the monthly updates on the market. So let's move. So where we are, futures are higher. Yes, futures are higher. Canada scraps digital services tax. Okay, let's go. What's moving the market? So that brings Canada back onto negotiation table. So let's see. Futures are higher. Good. Canada scraps digital service tax, which is positive news for market. Senate debate policy bill with passage vote looming. So Senate debates policy bill with full passage vote looming, right? So let's go here. What is happening? So this will add $3.3 trillion to the country's ballooning $36.2 trillion debt pile over the next decade. They are widely tipped to be passed by the upper chamber of the U.S. Congress potentially as early as Monday, right? So that is the bill. Now, this bill will have a direct impact to Tesla, which is enjoying $7,500 as a EV rebate. So that is there. So keep in mind. China manufacturing activity contracts. So it's shrinking. Oil dips, right? So let's go and let's look into the calendar today. So what do we have today? Chicago PMI at 945. Forecast is 42.7 versus 40.5 the previous one. So Chicago Purchasing Manager Index. Let's look at the Fed. These two gentlemen speaking, right? Tomorrow we have Fed Powell, 9:30 a.m. in the morning. Where does he speak? Let's see. Due to participate in a panel discussion titled Policy Panel at the ECB Forum on Central Banking. Okay. So that's where it is. It's a panel discussion. Then we have ISM Manufacturing PMI. And then we have JOLTS, job opening, what they call it, 1 second. Job opening during the reported month, right? So these are the job opening numbers. Okay, so we have a couple of good economic events ahead of us. Let's look at Chicago PMI. So it's okay. Chicago Business Barometer, right? Purchasing Manager Index, right? So that it is what has happened. Actual in May, previous one was 44.6, actual was 40.5, forecast was 45. So if I can see the graph and let me go. Okay. Generally, if you see all these brown dash, they are actually the forecast. It generally tends to come away from the forecast. So if the forecast, either higher or lower than forecast, it has a tendency of doing that. So we may see some sort of a surprise, which is a general trend for this indicator, this economic indicator. Now let's look at, I produced these market probability map. So according to the market probability map for June 30th, July 03, 30th June, 57% of the time Dow up, 55% of the time Nasdaq, S&P up, 60% of the time Nasdaq is up. Sentiment is bullish. Right? There's another thing. We have 4th of July holiday on Friday, so shorter week. So it's a 5 days week, rather 3.5 days week, because on Thursday the markets will close at 1 p.m. and the SPY and QQQ option closes at 1:15 p.m. Guys, TWT Learning provides financial market education, and we do a lot of research. This is one of the example of research we do. A lot of people, they're doing seasonality and all. I have worked on this seasonality for almost 2.5 years, and then I have produced this one. So again, we do a lot of research. We provide financial education to identify high probability investing and trading setups. Thank you very much for following me on Twitter and YouTube, and visit my website. I am a contributing analyst with investing.com, so you'll find the details there. Your following, your liking, your subscribing helps me, encourages me to produce more and more content, which is for educational purpose. So let's move to MNQ, which is the NASDAQ futures, right? Right to the moon. So last time, I think I did mention to you that the every dies in the past, most of them were complemented by the rising volume. This time that is not the case, but now what I see on the weekly basis, volume has last week come on the breakout, the volume has come out, right? Again, it's not that significant, but volume has come out. We are at the highs. Let's see where we are on the 4-hourly chart. Okay, so on the 4-hourly chart, if we see the way that it has broken the gone to the new high, that is worth noting. It's going significant higher, slow down, breakthrough, retest, and then slowly, gradually going down. Now, technically, I believe whenever there is a breakout of a previous all-time high, market goes higher, and at one point it comes back to retest. That retest move is considered as a buying opportunity. At the moment, I will leave my analysis here. We'll see how we go. Right at the moment, the market probability map is in sync with what is happening in the market for today. So today we are higher. So what can happen? So these days economic data does not have a lot of long-lasting impact. Majority of the market flows are based on what we have seen in June was around the geopolitical scenario and trade tariff. Now, trade tariff deadline is not changing. It's July 9th. US-China have agreed on their trade tariff. There are some news that India is also very close to it. Canada, as I said, that digital tax have been eliminated or scrapped for now. So countries are negotiating. European Union is also, I've read somewhere they're also close to that. So a lot of positive news is getting absorbed in the market very soon, right? So let's go and let's look at what is S&P futures doing. So S&P futures all-time high. Let me just change it. Okay. So S&P future broke through this level, all-time high. Volume is not coming out. Let's see. Last week is the first time that the volume hit the 5-day moving average of the volume. So that is the first time it hit. Let's see how we go. But at the moment, it looks like that we are in the, we are going higher, right? Can we stay higher for a longer time? We'll see. Today is month end. As I said, that today is month end, quarter end, half yearly end. JP Morgan caller expiring today, and then there will be a new caller being taken by JP Morgan. And from 15th of July, I think around 15th of July, Q2 earnings season will start. So a lot of interesting things happening. We'll see how it goes. Let's go here and let's look at QQQ. QQQ is ascending, going higher. We are, I think, if I'm not wrong, QQQ is about 551. So we broke through 540, 542 resistance, which was the previous all-time high, and we are ascending higher. And then there is a huge price gap this morning, and from last closing to, so Friday closing to pre-market opening today. Interesting. Let's go. Okay. SPY, all-time high, new high. Opening gap today. Volumes picked up a little bit on Friday in the last 4 hours of between 12 to 4 p.m. And there is a gap opening. Okay, let me go here. Okay. So let's see what is happening here. Okay, guys. So volatility is dying. Right? Okay. Let's go to, okay, volatility reminds me, let me show you something. 1 second. Let me stop sharing. Okay, let me go here. Let me see. 1 second. Okay, let me go here. So this is the VIX future term structure. So it's basically showing you the current, the prices of the August contract, September contract, where they are. What market is expecting that the volatility will increase as we move from July to August and August to September, September to October. So market is seeing high volatility from now to October, then flat, and then January market is seeing more volatility. Right? So volatility will pick up at some point in July. Right? So let's go to Tesla. Now Tesla EV rebate is, if that bill is passed, it's gone from, instead of going away from 190 days of passing the bill, it will go from end of September. And not, is it end of September? I think it's end of September. So that's why Tesla is down, right? Tesla is holding this line, this trend line. If Tesla fails to break 325, 326 on the upside, then I think it's coming down to at least 314 and lower, even I'm seeing it 290. But again, this is not a financial advice, guys. It's just for education. I'm trying to educate you what's happening in the market. Where it comes to NVDA, NVDA has broken this consolidation when it has gone parabolic. And after that, if I see, it is trading around almost 158, 159. I think there was it 160, almost 159.28 in the pre-market. So we'll see how it goes. Psychologically, 160, 159 are the psychological barrier. So we'll see how it goes. Where it comes to advanced micro devices, AMD. So we broke through this one. Yes, we have gone higher, and then we are consolidating. Okay, let's go to Alphabet. I mentioned this last week that Alphabet has room to go higher. So Alphabet is almost 181. When I said it was like 172, 173. Again, guys, no advice, education. Okay. Broadcom, 274, still rising, all-time high. Apple has actually crossed this trend line and held this trend line for the last couple of 4-hourly points. That means Apple may be the one to run. Microsoft, consolidation. Amazon broke through the range, may have some room on the upside. Let's look at what's happening on the gold. So is my view with gold and dollar is in lines with the market? Let's see. I want to check if my view with gold and dollar is in line. Right? So market view. So let's see here. Gold has found some support here. Gold is heading to, right at the moment, gold is 3,281 and it is heading to 3,320.35. Light crude dropped, coming back into the range. So geopolitical risk factor is gone at the moment. Dollar broke through 98, may find some support around 96.50. US treasuries are coming down. Interesting thing on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin broke through this support, came back into it, and now Bitcoin is actually finding resistance between 109K to so the resistance is between 109 to 108.4K. If it remains in the range and it breaks 106 on the downside, then we are going to 104. That's about the Bitcoin. Okay, and let's see SOXL. We have looked into it. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, let me go here. So we've looked into it, and you've seen we're finding resistance here. SOXS is moving a little higher, and Philadelphia Semiconductor Index is also around the resistance level. So I wish you all the best. I will come up with my monthly outlook either later today or sometimes early tomorrow. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day and wonderful trading day and wonderful week.